In this video, we're going to be talking about how to factor trinomials when the a value is not 1. Now, sometimes when a value is not 1, you can try factoring out a number. Like if I can try to pull out 10, but, oh, my video messed up, okay. But if I pull out a 10 out of this one, I get 10x squared. If I pull a 10 out of 21, I get like 2.1. And then if I pull a 10 out of 9, I get 9/10. And I don't really want to do the diamond problem with this decimal and with this fraction. So instead, we're going to do something called the AC method. What the AC method is you're going to do a diamond problem that we're used to, but instead of putting A on top, you're going to be putting A times C on top, and the B value will still be on the bottom. So in this case, I would be putting 10 times 9 on top, which would be 90. And my B value on bottom is negative 21. So we're trying to figure out what number multiplies to 90, but it adds to negative 21. After thinking about it a little while, you'll figure out that it's going to be negative 15 and negative 6. Because negative 15 times negative 6 gives me positive 90, but negative 15 plus negative 6 gives me negative 21. Okay, so what are we going to do with these two values? We are going to rewrite this equation, but instead of a negative 21, I'm going to write negative 15x and negative 6x. It'll make sense once you see it. So now, negative 15x and negative 6x are the values that replace the negative 21. This equation means the same thing as this one, it's just before we simplified it. Now we're going to group these 4 items into 2 sections. So I'm going to group this one together, and I'm going to group this one together. In each equation, or each piece, we're going to be looking for something called the GCF, which stands for greatest common factor. So the 10 and the 15, I know 10 has 1, 2, 5, and 10 as its factors. Negative 15, I'll just do 15 for right now, has 1, 3, 5, and 15. The greatest thing that they have in common is this 5. So I'm going to pull out a 5 out of both of those. Now this is 10x squared and this is 15x. They both have at least one x, so I can pull out an x as well. And we're going to write whatever was left over. If I pull a 5x out of 10x squared, which is kind of like saying 10x squared divided by 5x, that will give me, well, 10 divided by 5 is 2. X squared divided by x is left over with 1x. So I get 2x. If I do negative 15x divided by 5x, negative 15 divided by 5 is negative 3. X divided by x, they cancel each other out. So I get a negative 3. So that's the first part. Now I'm going to do the same thing with this negative 6 and this 9. Negative 6, 9, I'll keep it a positive 6 for now. 6 has 1, 2, 3, and 6. 9 has 1, 3, and 9. Their common factors, or the greatest common factor, is 3. So it means I'm going to be pulling out a 3. But since this one's negative, I want to make this a positive, so I'm going to make it a -3 that I pull out. Negative 6x divided by -3 would give me +2. A +9 divided by -3 gives me, 2x, sorry, gives me a -3. Now something very cool happens. We've got a 2x minus 3 and a 2x minus 3. What I'm going to do, I'm going to factor that out of both items and put it right here. Just going to write it one time, and I'm going to put this 5x and this -3 together. So I just wrote what's in pink underline. I wrote it one time, and I grouped together the remaining values. At this point, if you're not sure if you did it right, you should always be able to check your answer. So all you got to do is multiply these out. So I'm going to do FOIL. The first 5x times 2x gives me 10x squared. Outside's 5x times -3 is -15x. -3 times 2x gives me -6x. -3 times -3 is +9. Combine these. There we go. So this equation is exactly the same as this one. Let's do another one together. Number 2, let's do 2x squared plus 10x plus 8. So our first step is we're going to draw a diamond. We're going to put AC on top and B on the bottom, so A times C. A times C, 2 times 8 is 16. We're going to put 10 on the bottom. So thinking two numbers that multiply to 16, but they add to 10, that would be 8 and 2. So we're going to rewrite our equation, put the cap ends, 2x squared, and put plus 8 at the end. On the inside, we're going to write plus 8x from this, plus 2x from that. And these two together give you that 10x. So we're not changing the equation in any way. We're going to focus on each 2 at a time. I'm going to pull out a 2x out of these. Now we get x plus 4 on the inside. If I pull a 2 out of those ones, positive 2, that cool thing happened again where we've got an x plus 4 and an x plus 4. And this would give me x plus 4 together. I'm going to put this and this together. And we have it in factored form. If you were to FOIL or box this, you would wind up back with our original equation. That's how you check your answer. One more with me, then you're going to do one on your own. Multiply the cap ends. 2 times 9 is 18. We're going to put the b value on bottom. Which two numbers multiply to 18 but add to 9? That would be 6 and 3. 2x squared plus 9. We're going to change this 9 into two different items, the 6 and the 3.
Isabella Chavez Wims, you have a pickup in the front office.
We're looking for greatest common factors. So for these, it's going to be 2x, and what's left behind would be an x plus 3. For these ones, I'm going to pull out a 3. I get x plus 3 again. Those two are matching, so we're going to put those next to each other. And then we're going to put these on their own. 2x plus 3, and I'm done. So this x plus 3 was written twice, we just wrote it once. Okay, this last one that I want you to try on your own before tomorrow. 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. So you're gonna do the diamond problem and you're gonna do this grouping. I wanna see this for your stamp tomorrow. This video is a different version of factoring when a does not equal 1. So we're going to be doing a similar idea where a times c on top and b on bottom, but rather than doing that grouping method, we're going to be putting it back into the box and then trying to figure out what values go on the dimensions of that box. So let's get started. We're given an equation. We're going to start by putting it in a diamond. We want a times c on top, so that would be 2 times -6. So we get -12. We're going to put the b value on bottom, which is just a 1. We need to figure out two numbers that multiply to -12 but add to 1. In this case, it would be 4 and -3.
Good morning.
So now that I've found that it's 4 and -3, I'm going to follow this pattern and put everything in here. So the top left box, I'm going to put the a term, the whole thing. So I'm going to put all of 2x squared right here. Bottom right box, I'm going to put the c term, so I'm going to put -6 down here. These two diagonal boxes, they're going to combine to give me this value, and I found them right here and right there. So I'm going to be putting 4x, so that's what we want, 4x, and a -3x here. Now it comes to be kind of a puzzle to try to figure out what values go here. You need two numbers that multiply to positive 2x squared, 4x, -3x, and -6. So this takes a little practice, but the answer should be, let's see, what pen do I want? 2x, -3. -3 times something would give me this -6, so that would be 2. 2x times x would give you 2x squared. After you put in the values, you got to start making sure that they all work. So x times -3 gives me -3x. 2x times 2 is 4x. 2 times -3 is 6, and they all work out. Then you're going to pull those off the box, and your final answer is going to be 2x minus 3x plus 2. It's the only answer that works. Granted, you could have flipped it, and that would still have been right, but this layout is the one that would work for this problem. Let's do another one. Start with the diamond problem. A times c, putting b on bottom. 16 times 25, if you did that on the calculator, you would have gotten 400, sorry. We're going to put the b value, 40, on the bottom. So we're thinking two numbers that multiply to 400 but add to 40. This one will be 20 and 20. So I'm going to redraw my box. This box, we're going to put the a value. That's what we want to do right here. So we got 16x squared. Bottom right, we got 25, because that's our c value. That's what we want to put on the bottom. These two boxes, we're going to put directly from our diamond. 20x, 20x. Now you're trying to figure out what values would go around the box. It would be 4x, 4x, 4 times 5 gives me 20x, 5 times 5 gives me 25. So my final answer would be 4x plus 5 times 4x plus 5. You could leave it like that, or you can rewrite it as 4x plus 5 to the power of 2. 'cause it's the same item twice. One more with me, and then you gotta try one on your own. 3. Three times -5 is -15. Putting the b value on the bottom. Two numbers that multiply to 15, but they add, sorry, -15, but they add to 14. So we're gonna do 15 and -1. So we're gonna put the a value here, 3x squared, put the c value here, and then our two values of this would go in the boxes. So we've got 15x and a -1x, or just a -x. So we're thinking about what values can go around the sides. Now, I'm doing this pretty fast because it's a quick video, but if it's taking you a while to figure out what goes where, that's okay. Just keep trying. Yep, that works out. You're done. Number 4. So this one you're trying. So 2x squared minus 7x minus 15.